This screencast is going to show you how to multiply fractions. So on the screen you can see there are only 3 steps because multiplying fractions is really the easiest operation with working with fractions. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at our first example, which is 2/5 times 3/4. And like our example, or like our direction said, all we're doing is multiplying the numerators. So 2 times 3 is 6. And then we're multiplying the denominators. 5 times 4 is 20. We have 6/20. We're going to go ahead and simplify that and put it into simplest form. So I can divide by 2, and I would get a final answer of 3/10. So my final answer is 3/10, so 2/5 times 3/4 equals 3/10. Second example, 4/7 times 2/3. Once again, multiply straight across. 4 times 2 is 8. Multiply the denominators. 7 times 3 is 21. 8 over 21 cannot be simplified because it does not have any common factors, so you can't divide anything into 8 and 21. So 8/21 would be your final answer, and that is also in simplest form. Finally, if you're multiplying a fraction times a whole number, all you're going to do is add a 1 underneath to turn the whole number into a fraction, and then follow our directions of multiplying straight across. 4 times 6 is 24. 5 times 1 is 5, meaning that we have to change this improper fraction into a mixed number. So 5 can go into 24 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. So we have 4 and 4/5 as our final answer, and that is also in simplest form. So once again, when you're multiplying a fraction times a whole number or a whole number times a fraction, all you're going to do is write the whole number over 1 and then multiply straight across. So once again, our steps for multiplying fractions are multiply the numerators, then multiply the denominators, and then write the final answer in simplest form, whether that means you're actually simplifying or using division, or you're changing an improper fraction into a mixed number. The second part of this video is going to talk about how to multiply mixed numbers. So notice that the steps look about the same, except for the fact that step number 1 says that we're going to change each mixed number into an improper fraction. And this just makes it easier to multiply numbers together. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first example. In our first example, we're going to do bottom times the side plus the top. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11/5 times bottom times the side plus the top. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5 over 3. Once again, all you're doing is multiplying straight across. So we get 55, because 11 times 5 is 55, 5 times 3 is 15. But we have to go ahead and change this improper fraction back into a mixed number. So we know that 15 goes into 55 3 times, which would get us to 45. 45 and 55, when you subtract them, would give you a remainder of 10. So you have 3 and 10/15. However, this is not in simplest form. So in order to get to our final answer, we're going to have to divide by 5 to get 3 and 2/3. So my final answer in simplest form would be 3 and 2/3. Next example is just looking at multiplying a mixed number times a fraction. So we're going to change, once again, the mixed number into an improper fraction. So 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. So you have 8/5 times 2/7, giving us 8 times 2 is 16. 5 times 7 is 35. So we have 16/35 as our final answer. Can't be simplified. That would be then in simplest form. Final example is looking at a mixed number times a whole number. So once again, we're going to put our whole number over 1, change our mixed number into an improper fraction. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So we have 7/4 times 2 over 1, giving us an answer of 14/4. Once again, improper fraction, have to change it into a mixed number. 4 can go into 14 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12, giving us a remainder of 2. So we have 3 and 2/4, which can then be simplified by dividing by 2, which would give us a final answer of 3 1/2. So 1 3/4 times 2 would get us to an answer of simplified answer of 3 1/2. So to review, for multiplying mixed numbers, our steps are to change each mixed number into an improper fraction, multiply across to multiply the numerators, multiply across to multiply the denominators, and then write our answer in simplest form, whether that means we're dividing to put it into simplest form or we're changing an improper fraction into a mixed number.